Hey, I'm Helen with Floating Yoga School. This is a flow designed to help prepare you for splits pose, Hanumanasana, front splits. And it's okay if you're nowhere close to the ground. I'm the exact same way. We will use 2 blocks and a wall if you have those handy, and you can certainly do this without, to get a little bit closer. And the thing about splits is it requires a lot of openness in both the front and the back of the legs, because one leg is reaching forward and one leg is reaching back. So we're going to target here hip flexors and quadriceps, as well as hamstrings, glutes. Find a balance of strength and flexibility. So when you're ready, we're going to start lying down on your back on your mat. As you arrive on your back, let yourself settle. That might mean a little bit of movement, some fidgets or wiggles. Take a moment to simply notice how you're feeling right now. And start to connect to and lengthen each breath in and each breath out. If you'd like to set an intention for this practice, this is a good time to do that. It might be one of acceptance. It might be visualizing yourself in that shape, front splits or Hanumanasana. And then start to gently draw your knees in toward your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze and a little rock side to side. Keep your right knee hugging and extend your left leg long back down toward your mat. Lift your forehead toward your knee. And then relax your head down. Extend your right leg to the sky. Hold on anywhere you like. For me, it's my thigh. And find a little bit of movement. Point and flex your toe. Roll your ankle in both directions. Just notice how your hamstrings feel, how your calf feels, what's going on in your leg here. This is a morning practice for me right now, so I'm a little bit stiff, which is okay. You can gently guide the leg in without forcing it. Kind of finding that edge. And then take it to a half happy baby. Bend your right knee, start to work your knee toward the side of your ribs. Left leg stays really long. Re-extend your right leg to the sky, breathe in. Take it across your body for a twist as you breathe out. You might bend your knee, you might keep it straight. You can extend your right arm or make a cactus shape and turn to look right if that feels good on your neck. One more full round of breath. Unwind, bring yourself back to center. Both knees hug into your chest. Again, a little rock or some movement, a little reset for your spine. And then we'll switch legs. Right leg extends, left knee stays hugging in. Lift your forehead to your knee for a moment. Release your head back down. Extend your left leg to the sky. Hold on wherever you comfortably can and move around. Explore how the back of this leg feels. Take that to a half happy baby. Right leg stays really long. And breathe. Re-extend your left leg, and then take that to a twist across your body. You can look left if that feels nice in your neck. Continue your full steady breaths. And then bring it back to center. Both knees in, hands behind your legs. Start to rock and roll forward and back the length of your spine, gaining a little bit of momentum to come up toward a boat pose. So that might be 2 or 3 rocks. Find that boat pose. Lots of core, a little bit of hip flexors here too. Legs can stay bent. Arms can stay behind your legs, go wide, or if you want, reach up to the sky, extend your legs straight. Try to lift your heart, lift up through the crown of your head. Deep breath in. Exhale, release your feet down, hands behind you, fingers point toward you. A little reverse table flow. Inhale to lift. Exhale, tap your bum down to the ground. Twice more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Extend your right leg long. Let your left knee fall to the side. So like you're taking a seated tree pose. We'll take a little head to knee flow. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, fold forward, Janu Shirshasana. Inhale, lift high. Exhale, what I call mild thing. Left hand behind you. Some people call this dancer's pose. Lift your hips, right arm extends. Lower down, or dancer stretch I should say. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, fold. So we're taking a little dynamic stretching with our breath. Breathe in to lift. Breathe out to place your left hand behind you. Inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, lower down. One more time, breathe in. Fold over your leg. Lift high. Exhale, left hand down. Inhale, lift your hips. And exhale, lower. Swap out your legs. And you may feel like you want to hold a stretch, but you're of course welcome to. I think early in our practice, it's nice to move and stretch. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, fold over your left leg. Breathe in to lift. Breathe out, right hand behind you. Use your inhale to lift your hips, extend. Use your exhale to lower down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Back up. Exhale, right hand behind you. Lift your hips and lower. Last time all the way through. Breathe in. Breathe out, folds. Inhale. Exhale, right hand down. Full breath in, lift. And exhale, release. Roll over your feet to a tabletop position. And feel free to adjust a little bit on your mat. Fingers spread wide. Stack shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Cow and cat. Inhale to cow. Drop your belly, send your heart forward. Exhale to cat. Press round. 2 more times. Let it flow. Last one. Come back to our neutral. Draw your knees together. And extend your right leg behind you, but keep your toes on the ground. So as if you could press your heel into the wall if you're practicing with a wall at the end of your mat. A little press backwards, finding a stretch through the back of your right leg. Shift your weight a little. Find that stretch backwards. Press into your hands. You might have to send your chest forward like you're stretching out your body, and play with hovering your left knee off the ground. Full round of breath. And then lower your left knee down. Replace your right knee. Sway your hips side to side. If you'd like, take a wrist stretch. Turn your fingers back or flip your palms up. And we'll take the same thing to the other side. Knees come together. Reset your hands. Left foot behind you. Keep your toes tucked under. Press back through your heel. And rock it a little forward and back. Try to keep pressure moving back, the crown of your head moving forward. You might have to adjust a little. Try to hover your right knee. Full breath in and out. And slowly lower. Replace both knees. Take maybe another wrist stretch or a child's pose, a reset of sorts. And eventually make your way to a downward facing dog. Hips move high to the sky. Pedal out your feet. Explore a little bit further up your legs, how they're feeling, specifically the back, but the front as well. And then try to create a lot of length through your spine. Bring your feet together to touch. If you've got a wall behind you, just watch that you're not kicking hard into it, but we're gonna use the wall if you'd like. 3-legged dog, right leg to the sky or to the wall behind you. And really press into your toes. You might be top of your foot down. You might have your whole foot to the wall depending on how close you are. Find a little stretch. Full breath in. And as you exhale, cross step to the top of your mat. So right foot steps in front of your left. Left foot crosses over your right. And keep walking like that all the way up. Make your way to a ragdoll shape. Feet a little bit wider than hip distance. Bend your knees a lot. Relax your head and neck. Sway side to side. Let gravity do the work here. Lengthening the back line of your body. Release your hands down. You can heel toe your feet back and toward each other. Lift halfway, breathe in. Forward folds, breathe out. Inhale, rise to standing, hands sweep up. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Inhale, sweep overhead. Exhale, dive forward. Lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale, hands down, step back to a plank and hold your plank. Find a sense of strength through your entire body. So a lot of times we think about things like poses like splits as only being flexibility. But we always want to find a balance of strength and flexibility, stability, and mobility in our body. So find that stability, that strength, that heat. And then shift forward, breathe in, lower to your belly, exhale. Knees can always come down first for support. Little baby cobra, lift your heart, breathe in. Lower yourself down, exhale. Pass through a child's pose. Just a moment to kind of reset your spine, relax your head. And then back to downward facing dog. And if you're anything like me, you kind of shift on your mat a little, so feel free to adjust. Pedal out your legs. We're going to take that same thing with the left leg. Feet together, big toes touch, left leg high to the wall behind you. Find that three-legged dog. And really press into your left foot, whatever's touching the wall, or if you're reaching into the sky, just reach long in that direction. Notice what you feel. Big breath in. Exhale, cross step to the top of your mat, left foot over right, right over left. Continue all the way up. Find your way to a forward fold. This one might be ragdoll, this one might be a more standard hip distance, you decide. Nod your head, yes, breathe in. Shake your head, no, breathe out. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold, relax your head and neck. Rise up to standing, big breath in. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Make your way to a chair pose. I'm going to keep my feet hip distance apart. That feels very supportive for me today. You might prefer your feet a little closer together. Just make sure knees are tracking over your toes. Lift your belly button, relax your shoulders a little bit. It's normal for a little bit of a reach up when your arms are up, but we don't want to be wearing shoulder earrings. And then try to turn on the back of your legs. Really press into your heels to activate your hamstrings, your glutes. Can you feel a little fire, a little heat here? Deep breath in. Exhale, hands to your heart. Shift your weight to your left foot. Hover your right knee, one-legged Tadasana. Breathe here, nice steady eyes, steady gaze to hold your balance. Breath is full and flowing. One more inhale. Exhale to a supported warrior three. So you might bring your hands to the ground. You might use your blocks just below your fingertips on whatever setting. We don't want your foot really high, so we're not looking for a splits here. We're just looking for about 90, if not lower. And some little pulses using your glutes in the back of your leg to lift your foot higher. Doesn't matter how many. It does not have to be as fast as I'm going. Take one more breath in and out. And then step your right foot toward the back of your mats and lower your right knee down. I'm going to take my blocks with me. You're welcome to keep your fingertips on the ground. Sink your hips forward, lengthen your spine, breathe in. As you exhale, send your hips back, half splits, flex your toes to the sky. Twice more, breathe in, send your hips forward. Breathe out, send your hips back. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Rebend into your left knee. We'll take the supported crescent lunge. Hands can come to your left thigh. Try to scoop your tailbone under. Find a sense of engagement in your right glutes to open up your right hip flexors. You can stay just like this, or if you want a little bit more, arms to the sky. Left hand can reach your right wrist. Stretch up and over to your left. And I really feel that when I add the arms. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release your hands down. If you've got your blocks, you might scoot them out of the way. Carry your left leg up and back with you to your three-legged dog. Option to stay, option to start to walk your hands back a little toward your right foot. For me, it's just 2 handprints to already feel the back of my right leg. And if you walked your hands back, walk them forward again. Extend your leg long, breathe in. Knee to nose as you breathe out. Inhale, lift, three-legged dog. Exhale, cross your body, tap your right elbow or shoulder. Inhale, take it high. Exhale, left knee to left elbow or shoulder, hold. Place your foot outside your hand. It's kind of like you're in a lizard pose. You might need to adjust your back leg or drop your back knee. Think long through your spine, tailbone reaching back, crown of your head reaching forward. Breathe here. One more breath. Step your right foot forward. We're going to take this to Malasana Squats. Right foot outside your right hands, heels in slightly, toes out slightly, hands to heart. Lengthen your spine. Breathe into sensation. Notice where you feel this and where you can add some more breath. One more inhale. Exhale, forward fold, hips high. Bring your feet a little closer. We're going to step back up for our chair. Let your head and neck relax first. Lift halfway, breathe in. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, rise up, arms up. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Back to your chair pose. Find the depth that works for you and really focus on turning on the back of your leg. So I'm thinking of engaging, feeling that heat behind my bum, behind my thighs. Deep breath in. Exhale, hands to your heart. Shift your weight into your right foot. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana, and hold here. So we're using core, we're using hip flexors, lifting your leg, finding length through your spine. Full inhale. Supported warrior 3 as you exhale, foot back, hands to the ground, to your blocks. With props, it's never a perfect transition, and that's okay. And some little pulses here. So try to move from the glutes as if your bum cheek can lift you up, or lift your leg, I should say. One more full breath in and out. Step your left foot back, lower your left knee down. Again, blocks can come with you or they can move out of the way if you've got them. Extend your chest forward, your heart forward, let your hips melt, breathe in. Shift your hips back for your half splits. Breathe it out. 2 more times, flow. And then rebend into your right knee. You don't have to let your hips sink quite as low this time. Hands to your thigh, lift your chest. Feel free to stay. Engage your left glutes. Notice how that feels in the front of your left hip. Maybe both arms to the sky. Maybe right hand finds your left wrist stretched to your right. So all just different sensations or different degrees of feeling this. And you, of course, decide what feels best for you in this moment. Doesn't matter what happened yesterday, what you normally can do, what you want to do. Listen to what your body is craving. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, release your hands down. Perhaps you're moving your stuff out of the way. Right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. To find the wall if you're using it, stay. Or perhaps you walk back a little to feel more sensation in the back of your left leg. Walk your hands forward if you walk them back. Extend your leg long, breathe in. Knee to nose as you breathe out. Shift forward, round through your upper back. Inhale, leg high. Cross tap your left elbow or shoulder. Back up, breathe in. Take it to your right elbow or shoulder, holds, and place your foot outside your hand. Adjust as you need. Feel length. You're kind of close to a splits pose here, so notice what's happening. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, left foot steps up, outside your left wrist. Heels and toes out, sit low for your squat. Hands to your heart. Open your chest, breathe. Nice big inhale. Exhale, forward folds. And we'll take 3 good breaths in a forward fold. So if you'd like a ragdoll, if you want to hold onto your neck in traction, please feel free. Just let everything go. That might mean bending your knees a lot or a little. Let's take 2 more breaths. Release your hands if they're lifted. Can keep your feet hip distance apart, bring them closer together, you decide. Lift halfway, inhale. Exhale, folds. Inhale, stand, hands sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart. Start to shift your weight into your left foot. You're going to hug your right knee in. Hands can come interlaced in front of your shin. You can always place right hand on your knee, or if you like and you've got the space, first 2 fingers to your right big toe inside your knee and start to extend your right leg. Really pay attention wherever you are that you're not leaning too far back. So you're really extending through your spine and that you're not pulling your shoulder out of alignment. So that might be holding on someplace else. Keep breathing here. You can stay as you are. You can try to open your knee out to the side, to the right. Maybe even challenge your balance by turning your gaze to the left. If you went to the side, come back to center. You can add a twist. Left hand to the front of your knee or the outside edge of your foot. Right hand can reach back. Maybe turn your gaze to look to your right fingertips. And then back to center. Hands to your heart, hover your knee or your foot, breathe in. Standing splits as you exhale. Hands down, right leg high. And imagine you've got the wall you can press into. You've walked your hands back in line with your left toes. Let your head and your neck go. Notice if your hip wants to open. I wouldn't say that's wrong, but we want to try to keep our hips more square to get more sensation and a better alignment in the splits. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, step your right foot back. We're going to turn to a prostrata, so turn to the right side of your mat, toes in, heels out. If you've got a wide stance here, lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale, fold. Hands might come to blocks. Maybe you can reach your forearms or your head down, or you want to play a little bit here. Shift the weight a little forward to your toes, back to your heels. Notice how that changes sensation and where you feel this. And then hands to your hips. Rise on an inhale with a flat back. Inhale up. Exhale, set up for a triangle. Left toes turn back toward the short edge of your mat. Arms go wide. Breathe in, reach forward. Breathe out, tick-tock. Left hand down, right arm up. And it doesn't have to be super deep. I'm nowhere near the ground right now, and that's okay. Imagine hugging your inner thighs toward each other and leaning your upper body back into a wall. Breathe here for 2 full breaths. Right hand to hip, start to bend into your left knee. We're moving to a half moon. You might take a block with you. Left fingertips come down to the ground or to a block. Right leg floats, and then your right arm can reach up. My gaze is much more stable on the ground. You might choose to look sideways or up to the sky to challenge it. Be okay with falling out. Big breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Let everything go. Pedal out, sway your hips. You might feel one side feels really different. We just worked one side a lot and not the other. Lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale, release. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take out some mini blinds there. Shift your weight to your right foot. Start to hug your left knee into your chest. Maybe the hands interlaced, maybe left hand to knee. Maybe you find your big toe. See if you can square off hips and shoulders. Keep everything kind of pointed forward. And then stay or play with opening your leg to the side. You can even extend your right arm, look right. If you open back to center, a little twist here, right hand to the outer edge of your knee, left hand back, or you can find the outer edge of your foot. And play with shifting your gaze as well. Back to center. Ooh, hands to heart. Hover your foot or your knee or drop it down. Breathe in. Standing splits as you exhale. Hands down, leg really high. Fingertips walk back in line with your toes if you'd like. Let your head and your neck go. So you can see from this, I'm barely higher than 90 degrees. So my splits is probably not going to be touching the ground, although gravity will be there to help a little bit. And that is okay. Deep breath in. Step it back as you breathe out. Turning to Prasarita again, this time to your left, toes in, heels out. Lift halfway, breathe in, and fold, exhale. And sometimes on the second side, you can do something a little different. Bend into one knee and then the other. Add a twist or go upside down. Really encourage you to feel what's happening without expectation, without needing it to look a certain way, and to honor where you are in this moment. Hands to hips, rise, inhale, flat back. Exhale, turn your right toes to the right to set up for your triangle. That might mean shortening your stance. Breathe in, reach. Breathe out, right hand down, left arm up. Again, squeeze inner thighs together. Energetically find that engagement toward the midline or center line of your body, and then lean your upper body back. One side always feels better. This one is not it. Full breath in and breathe it out. Left hand to hip, bend into your right knee. Block with you if you'd like it. Take it to your half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Maybe left arm up, and maybe you switch your gaze. So working a lot into the back and fronts of your legs, openness and strength to find that balance. Deep inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Let everything go. Pedal it out. You might scoot back a little bit on your mat. I'm going to go to about halfway and tuck and curl into a ball. Bend your knees, drop your bum to your heels, round your forehead. And then play with a toe balance. Squeeze your inner thighs, hands to your heart, lengthen your spine. Big inhale. Exhale, hands down, knees down to set up for Camel Pose. So make sure you have some space, knees right below your hips. For some of us, that's a couple fists between knees. For some of us, that's closer together. And then rise to standing on your knees. I personally like my toes tucked under, and I'm super tight in the front of my body these days, so I probably won't even reach my heels. We'll see. You can always place your blocks on either side of your heels to have something a little higher to reach to, or join me in hands to low back. Think of pressing your hips forward, engage your glutes to open up the front, lift your heart, squeeze your elbows. You can stay just like that, keep pressing hips forward, or find your block, both blocks, or maybe your heels. Be gentle with your neck. It might feel nice to release back. It does not for me. And breathe, breathe, breathe. Slowly come out. Untuck your toes, sit back onto your heels, move your blocks off to the side. Just a little moment here to pause, close your eyes, and notice how you're feeling. So the story of Hanumanasana, or this splits pose, is the story of this monkey god Hanuman who made a big leap to go save his friend's wife, Sita, who had been kidnapped. Some say he leapt from Sri Lanka to the mainland of India. Some say he leapt over a river or up to the top of mountains. Lots of variations and versions, but imagine you're taking this big leap. I will use my blocks here, so if you want to, grab yours as well. Bring them toward the front of your space on any height and find your way into like a tabletop position. Hands to your blocks. Let's start with left leg. We'll start with one foot forward. And first find that half split. So I like to walk my toes a little forward, shift your weight back, flex your toes to the sky. You can stay, lengthen your spine. Imagine, hugging your inner thighs together. So squaring your hips right forward, left back, and then bow over your leg. And I already feel a lot. Another option you can take is to start to slide forward and back with your feet, moving more into that splits position. Notice if you're opening to the side. We want to keep shoulders and hips pointing in the same direction as much as you can. You might find it easier to keep your back toes under, squeeze. You might prefer to come to the top of your foot. And hands can walk back with your blocks. I like to bring my shoulders a little bit more over my hips. Another nice option is to place one block below your front thigh. And then you've got that support there. And this is as close as I'm getting today and most days. The other side will probably feel a little bit more open. We'll see. But it is very rare that I am touching the ground. And it doesn't mean that you're not doing the shape, whether you're here, whether you're in half splits, whether you're touching the ground or laying over your leg. It is all still this practice. It is all still a beautiful way to approach the pose. As that feels like enough, slide your props out. Gently find your way kind of to that tabletop position, sway side to side. You might ditch your blocks, you might keep them. Maybe there's a cow and cat for you. A child's pose. And then the second side. Right foot forward, or whichever side you didn't do. Crawl your toes forward, start with the half splits. Find length, breathe in, and then bow as you're drawing your hips back towards square. So right hip, the hip of the leg that's in front pulls back, and the hip of the leg that's in back pulls forward to even things out. Feel free to stay, or slide yourself a little further. Again, you can play with the back toes tucked under. For me, that feels a little bit more engaged. Walking your hands back over your hips, or taking a block underneath your thigh, and maybe finding a little balance. Pay attention to where you feel sensation, what's working, what's not. Where you can breathe a little bit more, and where you can let go of expectations. Whenever I have people that ask for a specific pose, I always want to ask, why? Just something to work toward? Amazing. Do you feel like you have to do it? No. There is no necessity to achieve or reach or do a certain pose a certain way. Come out when you feel ready. Feel free to move your stuff to the side. I'm going to take a child's pose. You take whatever feels good for you. And just pause for a moment. Begin to walk your hands in. Take a little counter stretch to open up the front back of our body, because I feel like we didn't focus a lot on that, a little rabbit pose. So I'm going to come toes tucked under again, hands to heels, forehead toward the ground, crown of your head toward the ground in front of your knees as much as possible, forehead toward your knees, chin toward chest, and then start to puff up. Send the space between your shoulder blades forward. Breathe into your back. And slowly release. We'll end this practice on our backs. You're welcome to turn and use your wall for legs up the wall for a final rest. I'm going to go there. We'll take a couple of poses before that if you'd like. A little bridge pose, lift your hips. Breathe into your belly. Lower down. A windshield wiper of your knees. And then some kind of spinal twist. Both knees stacked, one leg straight. You can take your leg across like we did when we started this practice. And then switch, twist in the opposite direction. And a lot of times as we're working into shapes that require a lot of flexibility, we have to remember our own anatomy. Sometimes it's the shape of our body that just won't allow certain things. Sometimes it's a matter of being warmed up enough or working on it long enough. And then back to center. Set yourself up for a final rest. I'm going to scoot toward the wall and take legs up the wall. You are welcome to place your blocks below your legs. Take a more traditional Shavasana, legs straight, or find a child's pose or a belly down shape. This is where the integration happens. So you let your mind do what it does. Let your breath become light and natural again. Let your body be supported. And allow yourself to just be here. You are more than welcome to stay or start to invite in some movement. A stretch or two. And eventually find your way up to a seated position. Eyes closed or soft. Place your palms together in front of your heart. And thank yourself, as always, for moving and breathing and taking time for you. I thank you for your support, your donations, all the comments. I love to hear from you. We'll bow our heads together in silence. Have a wonderful rest of your day.